Hi, I'm CJ Elmer at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. Behind me is a 2025, yes, we are on the 25 models, Cimarron. This is a Norstar Warmblood 2-horse straight load bumper pull we have here. Now this one unfortunately is sold. This is a custom order by a customer themselves. A lot of times we have a lot of these models already on order, and sometimes you can call in and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for, what do you have? We might have it still in production where we can make some tweaks for you and get it exactly how you want it. But if you have somewhere in that ballpark of 4 to 5 months, that's kind of the current lead time, we can build you whatever you want. But we wanted to show you this one because they did a couple extras to this trailer and set it up a little bit different than our standard options as far as this 2-horse bumper pull. Let's go ahead and take a look at the drawing, then I'll show you some of those options as we walk around it. So it's a straight load 2-horse with a front tack room. A little bit bigger on the floor length, so it is 18.9 from the bumper to the nose of this trailer, and then we have a 3-foot tongue. This one's 7.7 tall, so that's where that Warmblood height comes into play, and then the standard 6.10 wide. And where that extra width got put was in that stall area. It's 13.7 there. So a little bit, the customer wanted a little bit larger stall area. But that's what's really cool is we can customize these. Again, we've got a lot of stuff on order, giving you a lot of flexibility to be able to grab a trailer, maybe not have to wait quite as long as we can still make some changes, we'll try to do so for you. One of the things this customer did, and we really like this, is instead of the standard kind of 18-inch diamond plate, you know, just kind of protecting from rocks, that tread bright, this one here is 36 inches. So a lot taller, a lot more protective from road debris, from our tow vehicle. You know, I mean, we will see some of those with the smaller height as far as this is concerned, maybe get some rock chips or some dings on the sheets of the nose. But with that, I definitely like that upgrade there. So this is gonna have a 2 5/16 ball. So the coupler itself is for a 2 5/16. You'll need that size ball on the actual tow vehicle. We can figure out some different drop heights. We also have some parts in our parts department, some different hitches we can get you, you know, 2-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch drop. There's a adjustable B&W, a 5 to 7-inch versions there. Those are really nice to have. But then once you get here, we can set it on your tow vehicle, making sure it's nice and level. Manual crank bulldog jack on this guy, and then a standard 7-pin with our safety chains, breakaway battery, all that standard as far as components and safety features and equipment on the trailer. Now, front tack room on this one's just a standard front tack as far as this Warmblood size goes. Went ahead and put an 8-inch awning light right above this door because the door is on the nose itself. So we have another load light at the back of the trailer, kind of back by the wheels, but you know, this one kind of wraps around so you don't get light coverage. So we actually started doing that light right there on our stock show trailer this year and have just kind of continued to order them that way. Look, it's nice to have lights. One thing you can never have is enough lights on these trailers, in my opinion. You'll never regret those. So a lot of light coverage is nice. Brush tray on the door, smaller items, you know, brushes, fly sprays, hoof picks. You know, sometimes it's trash bin. You know, you just can toss some stuff there and clean it out when you get home. As you go into the tack, you're gonna have a fold-up step. Because it's on the nose, our running board doesn't wrap around. So with that being said, it's nice to have that step coming into this tack room. It's a pretty healthy size step if you go from this bottom rail to the ground level. So if you're carrying items, whether it's saddles, tack, maybe a tote, something along those lines, it's nice to have that step there to kind of break that up. And as you come in over here, kind of towards driver's side, we're gonna have a recessed post, 2 saddle racks, 2 blanket poles. These are adjustable, so I can just loosen up the bolts, slide them where I want, tighten them back up. I can change the sequence if I want. I just slide them out the top and then I'll have to re-slide them in. But again, I can adjust these to my liking where I want them to actually ride. You have a window looking into the stall area. It's got jail bars on the other side. But this is kind of nice because as you're traveling, if you hop into the tack room, just crack the door open, you can peek in there, make sure everyone's doing good. Maybe look to see, okay, do I need to reload some feed bags, something like that. Hay bags, anything there. But it's nice to have that window on that. We put this on a ton of these 2-horse straight loads. And then Over here, now this is on passenger side. That's what's kind of nice is it's all carpeted behind here, but we have hooks, a couple different rows of them. That way they're really accessible, even from being on ground level. You can just reach in, maybe grab a halter that you need to, but these are aluminum powder coated. And then the carpet behind them protects it from any of our tack actually moving in transit, you know, doing damage to the wall, but more importantly to those actual, maybe those bits, those head stalls, those items there. It's nice to protect those, but good height to these, good spacing and good depth off the wall. I give Cimarron a lot of credit. I mean, again, they're aluminum powder coated, so they are really stout, but you can hang a lot of items on here. Up here in the corner is going to be a clothes bar. So if you're traveling to a show, traveling some distances, don't want to take up a lot of room in the back of the tow vehicle, you can actually hang your clothes, keeping them nice and organized. But also, if you're showing off this, you can just hop into this tack room, you know, change a shirt, and it's right here for you and easily accessible. And then there's an LED light right inside the door. Those are the OptiBrite lights. We were making those pretty much standard on all of our trailers. At times it was kind of hard to get them, but we always strive to get you those big OptiBrite lights. And now Cimarron has actually gone in and made those a standard option moving forward. Now, on these tack doors, the one thing I like to show to everybody is these are welded hinges with greasers. So these guys are really stout. They really hold up well. They're easy to maintain too. So if we hear of something maybe getting a little squeaky, we can actually put grease to it. You can see this brass rod right in the middle. It goes the full length of this. And imagine it like a candy cane. So it's got like a groove cut into it. So it swirls all the way around that rod. So when we put grease to it, open and close it, it's wanting to actually feed that grease, you know, throughout that entire hinge. And then on these Cimarron doors, you know, this right here from that window, the edge of the door, that is all framework. So big, heavy duty stout doors. These guys on a 3-horse gooseneck. There's actually a picture of them with a floor jack. One of the back doors open, and they've got a floor jack underneath the door, picking the trailer up. Didn't tweak the door at all. That's how stout these doors are built. So definitely nice to have those. Everything's key-to-like as well on this trailer, so locking this tack door, shutting all these other doors, you can lock them all up with that. One of the last pieces up there is going to be a drip rail. So this is above all the doors going into this trailer, but that drip rail up there is going to try to keep moisture away from those doors, that weather stripping, that opening. Look, in Colorado, we'll have 300 days of sunshine, so we'll have snow, sun will come out, melt it, and start rolling off these trailers, and then that night it'll freeze again. That's where that moisture can get into those doors and that weather stripping, making it really hard to open, freezing them shut. Those drip rails are going to try to keep everything away, and that's an extruded piece too. So it's not like, hey, look, I found this piece of aluminum, let's just tack weld it up there and call it a drip rail. No, that piece just above the door is an extruded piece. So they have a die specifically for those doors. And then they have the rest obviously for the door frame, but that's a nice touch there. White sheeting, white is standard. If you want to go to charcoal metallic, silver metallic, black, those are kind of the more popular options out there. There's an upcharge, custom colors can be done as well. So on the stall area, it's mirrored on both sides. So as you can see, we've got both doors open. We can see right through this trailer, but we have the access doors. So if you're leading horses in, you know, you can go ahead and tie them up, duck underneath your chest bar there when you're loading them, and then you can just step out of the trailer itself. Now, this latch here has to be off the door. It actually has a door latch as well, but when we have access points going in the stall area, we want multiple ways to secure it because we do have animals in there. So as long as this guy's open, that door could be shut, you'd hop in. A lot of customers open them up before they load, and then go ahead and just step out of the trailer itself. We'll get to the other side and I'll show you how that feed door works in there. You can see the jail bars from the inside of that door, but we'll show you when we get to the other side the function of that. There's that other load light up at the top rail, another 8-inch. So if you got a horse out here, you have that one at the tack. If you're tacking up at night, it's nice to have that. Big bus window. I'll just move this Dutch door out of the way so you can see it there. I give Cimarron a lot of credit. That's a massive door, or a massive window. Only half of it opens because it is a bus window. So to maximize airflow, they really, put a lot of emphasis on how big of a window can we get, and they did a great job there. But airflow is really key to these trailers, just keeping horses nice and comfortable in transit. As you can see, the Dutch door wraps around and can lock into place. I can actually lock this paddle latch too. You can actually run with this open going down the road. Now on this one here, just because of the size of it, went up to a 5,200 pound axles on this guy. Electric brakes, so the tow vehicle will either have to have an integrated brake controller or an aftermarket. If you need help with that, our parts and service department can help you out there. But with the 5,200 pound axles, you can jump up to these 16-inch wheels, aluminum wheels, those are standard. And then these are 10 plies. And what's cool is the vendor that Cimarron uses, Lion's Head, 1 year, no questions asked warranty on these tires. So if you catch road debris, have a blowout, catch a nail, and it does damage and you can't replace it, they'll go ahead and replace it, 1 year based on that's your actual purchase date itself. But Dexter rubber torsion axles, so plenty of axle underneath this size trailer and what they're going to be doing. You saw the wraparound hinges on those Dutch doors up above, so the Dutch is up on top with the ramp down low. Nice big heavy springs, so it wants to suck into the trailer. Easy to load, but again, you can run with those Dutch doors open. What's fantastic about this setup that I'm going to show you is these become so popular because of the versatility of them. Not only can we haul a couple head of horses, but these are great for other items too, maybe some toys, four-wheelers, side-by-sides. Maybe you just need to haul the lawnmower somewhere to get serviced. You have the capability with having the rear ramp already on it, and then this divider that I'm going to show you here in a second that moves to the side. Now, butt bars with pads. The divider itself has pads as well. This is a big stud divider, so it goes full to the floor. Air flows up top. Then up front, chest bars with pads as well. And then they opted for a solid head grill on this one. So I'll show you here in a minute, but this divider slides out of the way, and that's where the versatility comes in. Let's talk about a couple other things. Two-way roof vents up above the heads of the horse. So what we can do is we can open them forward to force air down. We can open them backwards, maybe in the summer months, or winter months. As that body temperature starts to heat up and creates that condensation, you can open them to the back and let that hot air just release out of this trailer. But we have drop windows on the escape doors, those bus windows that I was telling you about, two-way roof vents, and then you cap it off with the insulated roof. That is standard on every single Cimarron. So it's thick, it's a 1/2 inch thick, it's a honeycomb design, so it's reinforced, it's really strong. So as we get into these months that we're working into here, we got hit with a hailstorm May 9th last year. Our Cimarron trailers did not get touched with the exception of maybe some skylights, generator covers, those type of items on those, but all the roofs are fine. All of our other manufacturers or used trailers with aluminum sheeted roofs had damage. Our Cimarrons didn't, so it takes substantial hail to do damage to these, but talk about really good as far as return on investment. You're not having to deal with the insurance, you're not having to devalue your product. When I look at one on trade and it's got hail dings in it, well, we account for that. I mean, that's just part of it. So that's a nice feature from Cimarrons. But as we circle back around to what it does for stall area temperature, it keeps it 20% cooler than those aluminum sheeted roofs. So not only with all the airflow that we can get throughout here, but you cap it off with that roof. Talk about a nice feature there, and definitely beneficial for our animals, keeping them nice and comfortable. So you have that. Now on the flip side of the trailer, we'll talk about the floor. So as this one here, you can see, instead of rubber mats, they opted for worm flooring. We like worm flooring on these Cimarrons, especially with this type of setup that I'll show you here in a minute, because this is a permanent, unpenetrable rubber mat. We don't have to worry about urine getting down. Heck, we don't have to pull the rubber mats out of this trailer to clean it. Now you just muck out your solids and just power wash it out. nose it up a little bit, come in through in those escape doors of the power washer, open up your back and let the rest, gravity handle it from there. But on the bottom side of that too is the best floor in the industry. So it's a 4-inch centers. So centers are what runs across the trailer the full length. If you want to tell quality of a trailer, crawl underneath one and take a peek. As centers spread, it's a cheaper made trailer. They're not as durable. Over time, those horses will stand and create, pits in those floors where urine will collect and start to corrode. On a Cimarron, your horse is standing on a support beam wherever they are. So industry's best floor you have on this trailer, and then the worm flooring. But let's talk about this divider. So again, nice big stud divider, a lot of airflow, got the head grill. But what's really cool about this setup is hey, maybe now I want this guy out of the way. So all I have to do is kind of unpin. And then I can slide it over to the wall. How simple is that? Now, this customer here requested that we get this divider as close to the wall as possible. So with that, he'll have to probably remove these butt bars and chest bars to get it over in the lock position. On our standard, we have the ability to leave those where they're at. So I can actually kind of squeeze it a little bit, at least get the bottom in. Yep, looks like he's going to be able to do it without removing those, which we actually had on the actual build sheet itself, just stating he might have to remove those, but they did a good job on getting that guy to where it squeezes over against that wall. Now he can load items. You have these heavy duty UHMW plastic pads here in the floor and then up in the ceiling, but it's on that track, so it's really simple. So instead of the other version where we have to unpin it and it's a two-man job, because you imagine the length of this and how awkward it is. It's all aluminum, but you got to pick it up, unpin it, move it over, lock it in against the wall, and then put it back. In this instance here, really simple to just slide it. This concept came from our show cattle trailers. Well, it was a center gate, so it was actually turned this across the trailer, and those tracks ran lengthwise on the trailer, where this one here, we just flipped it over. This has become extremely popular on these Warmbloods, our 2+1s, our head-to-heads. We build a ton of trailers with this type of setup because of how easy it is. And boy, you can flip it to a box stall in just a matter of seconds. Maybe you can throw a Cimarron foal in there. Maybe you want, again, haul some toys. You've got that flexibility right there. Another load light at the back, an 8-inch. And then if you've paid attention to a lot of our videos, we were putting a lot of backup lights on our trailers. Since this is a 25, now standard on our 25s are, you have our turn signals, brake lights, but also within them is going to be a backup light. What's really cool is we did a little bit of testing in our wash bay one day, turned off all the lights, shut all the doors, got it really dark in there. And we had the previous version and then this version. The previous version, it was a really good light, and it was all kind of in one, it was pointed in one consolidated area. To where when we put these guys in reverse, we had a nice coverage all around the trailer. So we're really excited about that. Now that's standard on 25s, the backup lights within those tail lights there. All our light switches are right back here. So we do have those stall lights in there as well. These load lights on each side in the back, I can turn them on individually. Another load light on the driver's side of the trailer. And then again, here's that access door going into the stall area. And again, within them is going to be that drop window with jail bars. So again, a lot of airflow. We can get into the horses with that. If you ever wanted to drop that, you can. There's just a track in there. There's a sweet spot you just pick it up into and set it there. But you can run with these guys down. You can run with those backs open. The bus windows, it does have a bus window within it. So if you wanted it sealed up a little bit more, there's another look at those welded hinges with grease zerks. And then again, everything's key-like. So I can lock up the drop window, the tack door, the rear ramp. and then these access doors. So I'm going to give you the stock number on this guy. That way, if you're interested in it, maybe you want the same thing, maybe you want some other tweaks, you want to see what else we have available. Again, it's a 2025 Cimarron Norstar Warmblood 2-horse bumper pole. That stock number is 5N240036. We do take trade-ins, so if you're looking to upgrade, downsize, we can help you out there. Financing is available and delivery is an option. So give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. We appreciate you tuning in. Have a good day.